Hello, 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 and welcome, friends, to episode 2 of our world building workshops. I've taken a little bit of time here to scroll out some notes and kind of try to organize my thoughts just a little bit, but now that we have officially put the intro in, we have marked where this VOD should be starting for our friends over on YouTube later. I'm just going to force myself into it, and we're going to get right to working on something interesting, hopefully. I got a couple encounters here that I want to try to build maps for this time, and I just want to see if I can get at least some ideas on paper today. Well, paper. This isn't paper, but nonetheless, getting this organized into maybe a layout, maybe just some ideas, maybe none of the above. Let's see. Fingers crossed it goes somewhere though. Here's my details on the counter. Real quick, I'm just going to set up my grid. It'll be handy. We're just thinking about map as a tile space. So 5, 10, 5, 4, 5, 7, 8, 5, 80, about 160 feet wide. I think that's a good place to start in terms of D&D scale. We'll slap that. Oh, wrong. You can tell I don't use my PC version as often as I use my tablet version. That's okay. It's also part of the reason I wanted to do the world building workshops more often, is it gave me an excuse to use a tablet more. My actual, like, the attached tablet. Which I love, but don't enough use of. There is, gotta double check. Yeah, okay, that is the, I thought. Hey, look at that. Got it in one. Symmetry tool, and this is just good for me getting ideas on. Thinking a large chamber that they enter somewhere, and in here be like 4 statues, which turned out to be filmed horrors, and they're all here just to stop them from to the actual encounter. Right? I think that makes sense. The question is, do I do a secondary chamber this one, or do I make it entirely separate? That's my starting question. I could build the lore around this, like build the actual story of why he's here a little more. Yeah, I could. That'd be a little helpful. Essentially, he's just gonna find this particular dead dragon and, hey, Papa, welcome in. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome into our world building workshop, if I can say it correctly. Hello, hello. A little tabletop talk Tuesday. No, I don't like that. I'm also still warming up my hands a bit, so it'll take a minute. Get everything working the way I need it to. Cool. Could also, that'd be a little helpful if I thought about this more long. So I'm going. Sure. Ah, well, welcome, welcome. I assume I know which one you're talking about, but I avoid saying too much. But hello, Grandma. Thank you for stopping by. Here I play games, make art, and generally just nerd out in whatever way I can make time for. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Awesome. Hi, I love you. Give her lots of kisses for me. here. Rotate, flip canvas, 90 clockwise. Middle is now there. Ooh, well, easier if it, oh, good favor is, not quite. It's a solid try, but not quite. That one was me, 100%. Good enough. It is just ideas on paper time. As I was saying, big round chamber. Want that. Hallway. Or like a downwards leading, essentially. And I want a secondary chamber that they can break the ceiling, or that it's gonna break the ceiling. Like the boss is gonna break the ceiling. Do you return to the 11 kisses? Yes! Score! Grandma kisses on stream. Up, nerd. Alright. Oh. Not realize that pause and play button. There we go. The mute button. Yes. Totally forgot those buttons are up there. That is very handy though. Never need to skip song. Can I do that from here? Percent. Nice. I totally forgot there were buttons on my graphics tablet. Accidentally. Whoops. Here. Thinking maybe a big square chamber. I mean, it's just, the big thing is it's supposed to be a big dragon burial chamber, so it's got to be able to fit the dragon. I feel like that goes up. I don't know. Maybe that's not implied. Maybe dragon burial chamber would be smaller than the dragon egg, but general thought that it's like hanging half in, half out of the wall, kind of like buried, looking like a stone statue. And then mage, who turns out to be a lich, resurrects this, and it sprouts big ol' scary wings, busts back wall out, and they, you know, have a proper mage and dragon fight with big field opened up on this side for it to have busted out of, or busted out into. I think to make this extra like burial tuning, probably want some down the middle. Maybe some small like altars. Then this probably be best to be a staircase of some. I just put it behind like a big gilded door or other double door. What kind of building would be attached to a dragon burial chamber? This is kind of a place of reverence who has been buried by kind of like super authoritarian church structure that is burying a lot of like the myths of dragons and draconic gods in particular, because they believe if they never speak of or think of like Tiamat again, or like of the chromatic dragons as they existed once upon a time during an era of our world setting that I'm working on. They think if they can bury these things and make them purely matters of like lore and mythology rather than historical things, they can keep them from existing at all. Unfortunately, not how it works, especially when you have a bunch of wizards who want to resurrect those things and want to, you know, receive power from those things. So, yeah, wizard who opposes the big authoritarian church structure through wizardry, and big dead dragon that's gonna bust out. What is this building here? How do I use this to block this? Make the old doom. Try make this chamber. I could make this a part of like an old destroyed wizard tower. Bring it up, bring the walls up slightly, and then kind of crumble them. Of course, that means they could fly over, above, and into. Could be some sort of like temple, old temple for the dragons back before the new church structure existed. Here. Oh. 4 helmed horrors. 2 mages. Need to, I mean, that's essentially going to be the fight space. It's going to be really difficult party because it's so contained, and then we're going to break it open. And they're going to have way more range, but also so is your enemy. Maybe I should actually spend some time designing a field at some point, but I'll leave that for later. I also have tile sets that'll make doing the outdoors easier because I just have wilderness and like logs and stuff I can lay on top of them, add a couple trees, and boom, there's a huge field for the dragon to destroy. This temple's gonna be a little bit more. Well, actually, I have some tiles. So this will also probably be really possible as well. But maybe I can build some cool little 3D element. Really help sell this. I think this back wall here, this breakable wall, would be really important. All right, let's bring this sketch down just a little bit. See if I can think of any greater details to. I guess no, it'd just be kind of like actually thinking about it a bit more. So I'm gonna fully bring that opacity. Ooh. Need to right click on it. New ruler. Target. Fresh. Full. Not quite. Better. I'm gonna grab a little softer color here a little. Yeah, there we go. Go back wall here to back wall here. This ruler for a second. Big stone, looks like statue. actually big dead dragon. You can tell I've drawn a dragon or two. How quickly I'm sketching in a lot of this anatomy. Would exist. Drawn a dragon or two at my age. Drawing dragons since day one. If I didn't draw dragons, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. Wouldn't be having this conversation. Yeah. Awesome. Into hell yeah. Turn that back on. Symmetrical and a little less work. Blur. Start off with some basic Doric. Fancier with it. But all these up and cackle. I don't know. Good. Portioned it all correctly? No. I'll get the idea in there. Yeah. Arms would need to go. Off the end. Astral fire that he's imbuing this thing with. This is just mostly so I can think about the like central narratives and the like specific descriptions I want to give party members when we get in here. So I always try to think about things very visually. As you enter the doorway, this is what you see. I love doing it, especially with like this big forced perspective, because I can get real dramatic opening, almost like a cinematic in a video. Just introducing the whole everything that's going on. Shape. This is just into a more long term. But chops up pattern. Discounted there. I was like, why is it wrong? Nice need. Wonderful, wonderful. These mages and these helmed horrors. I kind of want to play with the visuals of the helmed horrors a little bit, but my only thought process, outside of like animated armor, would be like living magic and like some sort of amorphous, like, not quite jelly, not quite magic thing. Very fragile, comprised almost entirely of magic. Then you put the outer shell of like a helmet on it. I don't know, I'll have to read more about the actual, or at least the intended lore of helmed horror, and see what we got. Give me just a second while I reach over here in Google. Helmed horror. Let's see what the wiki says about helmed horrors. Animated construct formed from a suit of armor and often found in Guardian. The most powerful type of helmed horror was the battle horror, also known as the Shadow Guard. Empty suit of plate metal with purple magical light flickering between the joints. Yeah, roughly what I was looking for. Some appeared to maintain their armor, keeping it polished and so... Yeah, not a lot of why. Just like animated armor. That's essentially all it is. It's just more powerful animated armor. But not quite as powerful as, I guess, a Shadow Guard. So it's just a mid-tier animated armor, which means I can have even more fun with this. I can kind of find some historical armor to base it off of. These are protective suits of armor, and I do have a character, or like that mage character, is based on mythology from, not mythology, but like a character who is very inspired by Asiatic folklore, Chinese and Japanese, I believe, primarily. I'm trying to avoid too specific because I don't want to reveal which player of mine is tied to this, but the lore could be something of like an old school honor guard or shogun style like protective system. So these animated armors could absolutely get a couple different influence. Give me a good pose. You gotta have a good pose in here. Give me something good. Put an animated armor in. That one like holding the sword or something? No. There's a lot of like running and standing poses. That's fine. Get in here. It'll be good enough. Just the tiniest bit of an angle, so I can play with some shapes. Faster. Booyah. Object. Bring this down. 50. Over it. I don't feel like building a whole anatomy right now. No, you stop that. Give me this pink. So, contours typical. Okay, a lot of flared shapes, a lot of layers, which, honestly, see, now I kind of want to go for some. I'm gonna pull up some ref up on my other screen that you get. I'm gonna bring. Yeah, there we go. Speaking of armors that have layers and have a lot of these flares and these horns and things like that, makes me think of a lot of the Shogunate samurai armors. Historically accurate ones. I actually pulled one up on my side marker. I actually have an excuse to weeb out on this one. Nice. Make this animated armor make esque, and they're literally protecting mage, who kind of functions as like a feudal lord of his own little. It's more of a cult, honestly. Unfortunately, it's militant and it's very well structured, but it's still a cult. When you have that many people practicing a very specific kind of magic in a specific ideological structure, even if they're non-religious, it's still kind of a cult. Oh well. Horn type shapes. Could actually add literal horns. Sides. Not to practice these shapes again because it's been a minute, but I have drawn a few samurai helms. Okay, if you can believe it. Here, little good shapies. Okay. Then do some big rope sections. Middle. This. I guess cord would be more. It's not quite rope. I don't really wear rope. To armor, a little bit more spaced out. Magic poke through. No, into and maybe a mask. Nothing else I work in. Legs. Got big claw. Look up. Ants are called, and best layer them with. But I do have some. like the silhouettes this creates. Probably add some knee guards of some kind just to help. Either do little trails like that or have a billowy kind of magical smoke. Which I could kind of stylize into aesthetics a little bit more. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we like the little wisps or do we like the big billows? I'll make a poll about it, and you guys can answer it at your own pace. A new poll question. We'll go 2 options. All right, and put a couple minutes on it. Currently leave that live while I try to think of parts of this. So I'll probably also need to get some mages here. That's the build. Kind of already know what my villain here looks like, but I need to think about how I'm gonna make him more lich-like. Get this guy out of here. See if I can throw in another pose real quick. Maybe kind of think about these mages, if not, my lich dude a little bit. And you guys can decide if I should use the little or big magical smoke when doing that samurai, the animated samurai. And we'll just grab that one. Little. Head up a little. Better shapes. Rasterize. Be a couple weeks. Alright. And this will be our mage, so a little bit different. Let's go blue. We're going for the Japanese inspiration, and the other ones look like samurai. I could make these look more like a traditional shogun. Yeah, okay. So, got an overcoat, like a haori, or a kimono, over top of a multi-layer robe. Then step this way, pull across here, pulls it in at the corner. That bag yours here. Heck yeah. And poll is almost over. Let's see what y'all said. Oh no, poll is over. All right. So for big or little smoke, the results. Big. All right. Cool. I will go for the more stylized big billows of smoke. Thank you for participating, y'all. Let me see. This. Secondary belt under LA. I think I'll go for more of a short. Some other kind of cloak. I don't know the name of. I know some names. Real cool for knowing those ones. A quote for honor. I don't speak Czech. Some layers. More visually interesting. Maybe a little. Them. And just medieval stuff in general. You can add in a couple leather wraps to a section of the body. It's gonna look good. And that just particular hairstyles or headpiece. I'm seeing a lot of tight buns. Go with primarily. If I can find any. Shogun. Just like lords of any kind from Japan. Different hairstyles. Cool. So, oh, yeah. Got a mage. Samurai armor. Got big old dragon to resurrect. And greater than all those. So, oh, let me. That's alright. We rotated the camera. Making room for two mages, 4 helmed horrors, or in this case, samurai armor. We have our evoker raising this Draco Lich, turning himself into. Alright. At least have a better idea of what I want to do, but I'm going to need to take way more planning. But I think this warm-up hour has been great. I think it's going to be less than an hour that I poured over each. I think it's going to be like 40 some odd minutes or something like that. So if you have any other ideas, go over real quick. I'll give you guys a chance to submit them. But otherwise, I am to let this be my concepting and waking up for the day. Move into some Zelda. I think this is everything I wanted to cover. So unless you guys got any ideas to add to the workshop, I'm gonna start getting us ready to move over to Zelda. And I'll make a little marker for myself real quick for later. Everybody say goodbye to YouTube or hi to YouTube, however you want to say it. But bye YouTube. Catch you later.